Live in
5, 4, 3,
Three's Robert, but they are.
2, 1.
and cue.
Coming up right now here on the Chevrolet Sports Night. The first 2 weeks have provided some harsh lessons for the Carolina Panthers on both sides of the football. What they hope to change before their meeting with the LA Chargers on Sunday. Plus, big developments in the college football game on Thursday. We'll check in on NC State as they prep to visit Virginia Tech and explain why a winless team could still go to a bowl game this year. And the NASCAR playoffs rolling to Las Vegas this Sunday. We'll go one-on-one with Joey Logano as he chases his second Cup Series title. We got all that, your Twitter thoughts, and so much more right here on the Chevrolet Sports Night.
Stand by.
This is the Chevrolet Sports Night.
3, 2, Mike Q.
Well, hello there, friends. Welcome into the Chevrolet Sports Night here on Spectrum News 1. I am Mike Solarte. So glad you carved out a little bit of your night for us here. We will get you caught up on the day and night in the world of sport. We go one-on-one with Joey Logano, talking NASCAR in our middle segment. But we're going to start things off in the NFL with the Carolina Panthers, who added tackle Russell Okung to their injury report on Thursday. He did not practice due to a groin injury. Also on that report in the DNP category, defensive tackle K'Wan Short and guard Dennis Daly once again. Short dealing with a foot issue, Daly dealing with an ankle. There was some good news. Rookie defensive end Gross Matos, linebacker Brian Burns, and lineman John Miller.
Video in 2.
All full go. Looking like they will make their way back to the lineup on Sunday. Now, last
Sound
Sunday,
in 3 next.
Carolina first-round draft pick Derek Brown. He was called for a couple of penalties against Tampa Bay, and those flags proved costly.
Putting a video in 1.
Hasn't been what he's wanted.
Sound in 3 is next.
He's confident to find the consistency he's looking for.
Thoughts up.
It's been, just kind of trying to find my way, because I'm confident in my play calls, and I'm confident in knowing my playbook now. So I mean, it's one of those things where going into a new season,
Video on 1 next.
I got to be able to personally just learn the game a little more.
It's up.
Well, through 2 games, offensive coordinator Joe Brady has come away with the same thinking. He feels he has to get the ball more in the hands
Sound in
of
2 next.
Samuel. Leading the team in receiving touchdowns a year ago, Samuel has yet to score. He's caught 7 passes for just 51 yards so far.
2 is up.
I have to use Curtis Moore as a receiver. I got to get the ball to him more, and so that was something that, I walked away, that was some of my notes from the last 2 games. He's
Video
his
will be in the
speed on
monitor
field
in
is gonna be
3.
push ball deep. I have to utilize Curtis Moore in the pass game.
Well, let's go to college now. COVID-19 is forcing cuts for NC State athletics. Director of Athletics Drew Corrigan announcing a string of furloughs and pay cuts on Thursday. Coaches and staff making at least $100,000 will see their salary reduced, while everybody under that threshold will be furloughed at least 19 days. Administrators say the school
should be a different moniker there.
NC State?
Yeah, that's
revenue due to loss of
that's
things like ticket sales, sponsorships, TV earnings, and concessions.
It's up.
All right, when it comes to on the field, NC State hits the road this
Pack
weekend.
in 1.
Saturday night showdown with the 20th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies. Now, if you remember, the Hokies had their initial season opener against the Wolfpack postponed due to COVID-19. Ditto for last weekend against Virginia. NC State is preparing the best they can for an opponent they haven't seen. With more on Saturday night's matchup, here's our own Mike Toth.
Virginia Tech head coach Justin Fuente admitted that due to COVID-19, he will not have a full roster when the Hokies open their season Saturday.
You're going to the array.
Now, normally, not being able to game plan for who's going to be on the field is frustrating for a football coach. But as we know, 2020 isn't normal.
2020 has been a year of uncertainty.
Dave,
so it's just kind of what you're
in.
used to at this point. Would it be great to know who's going to be out there? Yeah, it would. But
Dave out.
that's not where we're at, so I can't dwell on that. We just got to focus on being able to make good adjustments. I think that's the key.
NC State should have their hands full.
Okay,
with
Duke
Tech
stuff is
quarterback
next. I'm putting the
Newbert
VO
at
in
Tech
2.
defense will look to contain the Hokies offense.
Salt will
better
be
than they did
in
after giving up
3.
42 points to Wake Forest last weekend.
They run the QB a lot, so there's a lot of what we call +1 runs, where there's one extra blocker involved, and they have nice design, offensively with their misdirection pieces and
Less than a
jets
minute.
to create, things on the edge, and then also the vertical components with the counter and power inside with their quarterbacks and running backs. So you've got to be really detailed.
VO and 2 will be
Sound
next.
like option football.
This is the first away game for NC State, and they're taking precautions to try to avoid any last-minute impacts that the
30
coronavirus
seconds left in
may
pack.
have on their team.
It's going to be, I guess you'd say, contact tracing eliminator the way we're busing. So you guys won't have that issue of God forbid we had, you know, someone on there test positive. We test in the morning, don't get our results probably until we're already up there. So we want to make sure we eliminate the, you know, impact of that if that would happen.
State and Sac are scheduled to kick off at 8 o'clock Saturday
Stand by.
night in Blacksburg. Reporting in Raleigh, Mike Toper, Spectrum News 1.
It's up.
All right, Tope, thanks very much.
Sound in 3 next.
Duke in spite of their 0-2 start, especially on defense. That side of the ball has put together two very impressive first halves against both Notre Dame and Boston College. Only to see things tail off a bit in the late stages. The Devils will need a strong showing from their front seven this week as they try to slow down reigning Coastal Division champs Virginia. Players say it'll come down to the basics to turn things around, being physical to line of scrimmage and taking a week-to-week approach.
Sound in 3 is up.
I think in any
Going directly to video in
memory, especially
1
in
next.
ACC play. Obviously, an 0-2 start isn't where we want to be, but that doesn't change our attitude. It only makes us more anxious to get out there and improve what we have, because I think we have a really good squad.
It's up.
In Greenville, East Carolina opens their season at home Saturday against 13th ranked Central Florida for the Pirates.
Putting in video in 3, sound in 2 will be next.
They had to pause football activities due to the coronavirus. They had their opener with Marshall postponed for the same reasons. Because Mike Hughes' confidence the team will finally be good to go inside Dowdy Fitchman Stadium this weekend.
So that's up.
Good about our testing from the standpoint of we've had, negative on Monday, negative on Wednesday. Our guys are being very conscientious, so I would expect us to be negative tomorrow.
Video in 3
So
next.
I feel pretty good about that going into the game. I got a bunch of guys who are playing their first college football game. They're gonna be excited.
It's up.
Speaking of excited, Pac-12 football is back on in 2020.
Putting in video in 1.
The CEO group voted to begin play November the 6th, with all 12 teams playing a 7-game regular season, followed by the Pac-12 championship game on December the 18th. And the move, which follows a similar announcement by the Big Ten last week, means that all the Power 5 conferences will attempt to play this fall. It also voids the Pac-12's earlier decision to hold off on all sports until the new year. Conferences
Video in 1 is
will
next.
be allowed to play on the NCAA official start date of November the 25th.
It's up.
And then there's this. The NCAA Division I Oversight Committee has recommended waiving the minimum requirements for bowl game participation in 2020. Essentially, that means everybody's bowl eligible, even if you go winless in the regular season. Schools will still meet academic progress report requirements to play in the bowl game, which can begin as early as December 1st.
Twitter's next.
There are currently 41 bowl games, plus the college football playoff national championship game on the road ahead. I'm avoiding the joke here. I'm just leaving it alone. Time for tonight's Twitter poll. Which sport with a COVID-altered schedule will produce the most legitimate chance in your eyes? We left NASCAR off of this thing because even though there's
The video on 1 and sound in 2.
So that's why you don't see them there. So NASCAR fans, we're going to take care of you later on in the show. We have college football, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball.
Coming to you.
And @sports_night to vote, comment, and throw to follow. And we'll get you the results a little bit later on in the program. All right, 12 drivers remain in the hunt for the NASCAR Cup Series title. Round 2 promises to deliver plenty of nervous moments for drivers and crews alike. This 3-race segment takes the drivers from Vegas to Talladega to the Roval at Charlotte. Talk about wild cards. This will be the second trip to Vegas for the series this season. First run back in February saw Joey Logano pick up the win.
Sound in 2 next.
Chase Elliott knows that Sin City, heads to Sin City rather, knowing that this time of year will actually provide another challenge. See, it's a late afternoon start, and that'll lead to track changes, especially when the temperature drops as the race wears on.
Thoughts up.
Yeah. I mean,
He's gonna be on camera
hard.
next.
I feel like all these tracks can be temperature sensitive for sure. I think this race, the way as early as it gets dark out there, it'll probably end at night like it did last year again. So that'll be interesting, and I'm sure it'll have a pretty big swing from the beginning of the race to the end. So hopefully we're on top of that.
He's up.
In the NBA, Charlotte Hornets in-city bubble workouts continuing into next week, and coming off the season where young players like Devontae
Video
Graham
in
showed
3 next.
plenty of growth. There's reason for some excitement for the Hornets in the future. Many thought that the guard, Graham, should have won the NBA's Most Improved Award, or at least got more votes.
Putting a shot in 1.
Players, including LeBron James, took to social media to voice their support of Graham. He's had some time to get over the slight. He's concentrating on the 2 weeks of off-season practice. The Hornets
Putting a VO in 2.
in this time. While disappointed, Graham said it was nice to have seen many of his peers have it back.
Thoughts up.
Honestly, I was upset about it. Pretty much over it now, but you see everybody talking about it and saying I should have won, and then you see guys in the NBA coming out saying things about it. Shout out to LeBron for
Video in 2 next. It's up.
All right, game 4 of the Western Conference Finals from the Orlando bubble. Lakers looking for a 3-1 series lead over Denver early on. Anthony Davis, the brow poked in the eye, but guess what? He only needs one eye because he's got the brow. Step back jumper is good. Lakers up by time down. Davis.
We got teases next.
Feeling it to mid-range. He was 6 of 6 from the field to 12 points in the first 5 minutes. He had 19 at the break. Later, LA on the run out. Rajon Rondo, LeBron, Thunder. Lakers up 10 at that point. Jamal Murray able to keep Denver in it. Check out this move with the up and under. Oh my, that's nice.
Putting the tease video in 3.
At 16 at the break. Lakers ahead now 82-73 as they play the third. If you're the Lakers, you want to go up 3-1 against Denver because Denver's come back from 3-1 deficits in a series twice in the bubble already.
Okay.
All right, maybe take a break.
It's up.
Much more to get to on the program. Twitter poll is up asking which COVID-affected sport will crown the most legit champ this season. Whether it be college football, the NBA, NHL, or Major League Baseball.
Tease video in 3 next.
Right now, that's where you vote, comment, and throw the ball. Coming up on the other side, Joe Logano looking for another Cup Series title. We'll go one-on-one with him next. So don't go away.
And in 3, 2, 1, take it, Master.